In an undercover operation that took an unexpected turn, the FBI aimed to pursue a seemingly normal homeowners association, uncovering a web of prohibited activities hidden beneath the surface of suburban life. This operation was crucial, as it sought to expose corruption that had long plagued the community. However, the mission quickly became complicated when agents encountered Linda, the HOA president, whose overzealous enforcement of neighborhood rules turned into a humorous yet serious conflict. Linda's relentless pursuit of order clashed with the agent's objectives, leading to a series of comical misunderstandings that heightened the tension. As the agents navigated the absurdities of HOA meetings and Linda's eccentric demands, the stakes grew higher, setting the stage for an engaging narrative filled with suspense and intrigue, where the line between duty and the absurd blurred in the most unexpected ways. Under the name Mark Reynolds, he assumed the role of an IT freelancer, seamlessly blending into the suburban landscape of Maplewood Heights. This cookie-cutter neighborhood, with its identical houses and manicured lawns, provided the perfect cover for his undercover operation. The investigation centered around Victor Grayson, a seemingly ordinary resident whose connections hinted at a larger criminal network operating within the community. As Mark navigated the intricacies of suburban life, he understood the critical importance of maintaining a low profile. Any hint of suspicion could jeopardize the entire mission. Engaging with neighbors over barbecues and school events, he carefully crafted his persona, ensuring that he remained just another face in the crowd. In this serene setting, the stakes were high, and every interaction could either lead to a breakthrough or expose him to danger lurking beneath the surface of suburban normalcy. Linda, the neighborhood standards coordinator, was a force to be reckoned with in Maplewood Heights. With her perfectly coiffed hair, tailored blouses, and an ever-watchful eye, she embodied the essence of suburban perfection. Her obsession with neighborhood aesthetics drove her to strictly enforce HOA rules, ensuring that every lawn was pristine and every mailbox matched the approved color scheme. When she first encountered Mark Reynolds, she immediately scrutinized his SUV, a vehicle that, while practical, didn't quite fit her vision of neighborhood harmony. Linda's disapproval was palpable, and her fixation on the SUV grew, leading to increasingly confrontational exchanges. As she relentlessly pursued Mark to rectify what she deemed an eyesore, the conflict escalated, revealing her deeper insecurities and the lengths she would go to maintain her idealized version of suburban life. This clash between her standards and Mark's undercover mission set the stage for unexpected tension. Linda's relentless pursuit of perfection culminated in a violation notice delivered to Mark Reynolds, citing his SUV as a blatant breach of HOA regulations. The notice detailed a hefty fine that felt more like a ransom than a penalty, leaving Mark incredulous. As he read through the absurdity of the complaint, he couldn't help but chuckle, drawing a humorous comparison to cartel dealings, where the stakes were high and the demands outrageous. "Who knew I'd be facing a neighborhood mob boss?" he mused, shaking his head at the irony of the situation. The notice not only threatened his undercover mission, but also set the stage for an upcoming compliance hearing where he would have to defend his vehicle and navigate Linda's zealous enforcement. The implications were significant. Failure to comply could blow his cover and derail the entire investigation, adding a layer of suspense to an already tense situation. The atmosphere in the HOA clubhouse was thick with tension as residents gathered for the compliance hearing, their eyes fixed on the front where Linda presided with an air of authority. Dressed impeccably, she presented her case against Mark, detailing his alleged violations with fervor, her voice echoing off the walls. As she questioned Mark's true identity, the room seemed to hold its breath, and he felt the weight of scrutiny bearing down on him. Internally, Mark grappled with a whirlwind of emotions. He was torn between maintaining his cover and the urge to defend himself against Linda's relentless accusations. Each question felt like a tightrope walk, balancing the need for authenticity with the risk of exposure. Unexpected twists unfolded as other residents chimed in, some supporting Mark while others sided with Linda, creating a chaotic dynamic that heightened the stakes of the hearing and left Mark questioning how far he could go to protect his mission. As the compliance hearing progressed, the tension between Mark and Linda escalated dramatically. Linda, determined to gather evidence against him, employed aggressive tactics, scrutinizing every detail of his life in the neighborhood. She questioned neighbors, seeking any dirt that could bolster her case, her relentless pursuit becoming increasingly personal. Mark, aware of the stakes, responded strategically, carefully crafting his answers to deflect suspicion while maintaining his cover. He knew he had to stay one step ahead of Linda's probing inquiries. In the back of his mind, he began to formulate a Plan B, a countermeasure designed to thwart her interference without blowing his cover. This plan involved discreetly gathering support from sympathetic neighbors who could vouch for his character, creating a network of allies to counter Linda's accusations. As the situation intensified, Mark realized that navigating this conflict required not just stealth, but also a keen understanding of the community dynamics at play. Mark devised a clever plan to use a decoy vehicle to mislead Linda and divert her attention from his true identity. He acquired an old beat-up SUV that looked nothing like his own, complete with a few strategically placed dents and a faded paint job. The purpose was clear: to draw Linda's scrutiny away from him while he continued his undercover work. As he set the decoy in front of his house, he couldn't help but chuckle at the thought of Linda's reaction. He imagined her peering through binoculars, taking notes on the offending vehicle, her obsession with aesthetics leading her to investigate every detail. The humor of the situation was a welcome distraction, but the tension was palpable as Mark prepared for Linda's next move. He knew she wouldn't give up easily, and the stakes were higher than ever as he braced for her inevitable confrontation. The confrontation reached a boiling point when Linda stumbled upon the fake files Mark had planted as part of his decoy strategy. Her eyes widened in disbelief as she flipped through the documents, realizing they were nothing more than elaborate forgeries. "You think you can fool me, Mark Reynolds?" she exclaimed, her voice a mix of anger and confusion. Just then, the FBI agents, who had been monitoring the situation from a distance, intervened. With badges displayed, they stepped in to clarify the legal ramifications of Linda's actions, explaining that her obsessive enforcement of HOA rules had crossed a line into harassment. The atmosphere shifted dramatically as the agents apprehended Victor Grayson, who had been lurking nearby, his criminal activities finally exposed. This turning point not only vindicated Mark, but also shifted the power dynamic, leaving Linda reeling as the operation unfolded in ways she never anticipated. The operation concluded with significant outcomes that reshaped the dynamics of Maplewood Heights. Linda's aggressive actions not only led to her ousting from the HOA, but also sparked a wave of reform within the community as residents rallied for a more balanced approach to neighborhood governance. Meanwhile, the successful apprehension of Victor Grayson marked a pivotal moment in Mark's career, showcasing his ability to navigate complex undercover operations. The implications were profound, opening doors for future assignments and solidifying his reputation within the FBI. Reflecting on the entire situation, Mark couldn't help but chuckle at the humorous irony. The very person who sought to uphold neighborhood standards had become the catalyst for chaos. As the community began to heal, Mark realized that sometimes the most absurd circumstances could lead to unexpected resolutions, leaving him with a story that would be retold with laughter for years to come. This story highlights the unexpected challenges faced during Mark's undercover operation, where the seemingly mundane world of a homeowners association turned into a battleground of wits and absurdity. The humorous yet serious conflict with Linda, the overzealous HOA president, showcased how even the most ordinary settings can harbor extraordinary drama. Mark's journey not only revealed the complexities of community dynamics, but also underscored the importance of adaptability in high-stakes situations. As we reflect on this engaging narrative, we invite you to share your thoughts on the wild twists and turns of Mark's mission. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more captivating tales filled with suspense and humor, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring more engaging stories to life, and we can't wait to share the next adventure with you.